The right-wing Sweden Democrats Party won its largest ever share of the vote in a general election dominated by concerns over immigration. So with nearly all the ballots counted, the Sweden Democrats took over 17% of the vote, which they see as a major breakthrough. But it was a disappointing night for the ruling Social Democrats. With just 28%, it's their lowest result in a century. The Swedish moderates are in second place with nearly 20%. Now, with no clear leader, the result paves the way for lengthy negotiations over the coming weeks on forming a governing coalition. The Prime Minister, though, is calling for cross-party cooperation to keep the Sweden Democrats out of power, accusing them of trying to increase division and hate. Now, Artie's Maria van Oshner was reporting from Sweden for us throughout the run-up to that general election. She's here now. Hi there. What was the mood like in the run-up to that poll on Sunday?
Hi, Colin. After travelling across Sweden for almost 2 weeks, I had a feeling, to be honest, that the mood ahead of the national vote in the country was quite depressive. People were telling me that it's not like it used to be in many different ways. Healthcare, justice system, even transportation. I remember we had a rendezvous with one politician in Malmö in the south of the country, and he was 40 minutes late because his train was delayed. And when he finally arrived, he told us, oh, even trains do not run on time anymore in this country. So I felt this, general dissatisfaction, frustration. But security was the biggest concern, of course. It has been a turbulent year for Sweden, with cars burned throughout the country, with gang shootings happening so often. And you can imagine how, if we are shocked to see such dramatic pictures coming from Sweden, you can imagine what kind of feeling locals have about that. So it's not usual for Sweden. So most of these things actually happened in particular areas, particular neighborhoods, but this feeling of insecurity spread far beyond those neighborhoods. We went to some of those neighborhoods. Let's take a look. Now we're driving to the southern part of Stockholm, the Swedish capital, to one of the areas called by police as vulnerable area, or especially vulnerable area, or risk area, how they refer to it.
Maybe 50 people from here, house, everything.
Are they violent?
Very. Attack everything. Cowboy, From nothing drink, say no, don't come close, everything. Mafia, give me money. No money? Okay, don't talk.
What's that gun, you mean?
Yeah.
So people were particularly concerned about security situation in the country. They started being worried about how safe Sweden has become. It was not all and always about statistics and real facts, but the feeling was like this, that it's not safe anymore. And some politicians started, not only Sweden Democrats, but other parties as well, started saying that immigrants are to blame. This is those who are responsible. And that was another thing that I felt throughout the country, this anti-immigrant sense, or particularly anti-non-European immigrants mood. Let's take a look at this piece from Helsingborg.
Sweden is not Swedish anymore. This is totally changed. Here used to be a small little, a shop where you could buy hot dogs. Now it's sort of a kebab shop. You never find any Swedish hot dogs anymore. Hey, pratar ni svenska? Nej. Do you speak English? Nej. Arabic? It's just Arab here. All the signs are in Arabic.
No. It's not just Arab.
Yeah?
It's all kind of...
It's all Arab.
Oh, no, but you're wrong. We are Swedish. We live in Sweden exactly like Swedish. There's no difference. Don't talk rubbish.
I'm very sad that Sweden is not a Swedish country anymore. It makes me want to cry.
Yeah,
I don't recognize my own country.
If you like crying, cry. Discrimination. Don't street. We don't talk about it.
So you can see it's a kind of discontent from both sides, with locals saying there are too many immigrants and immigrants are hostile and Sweden is not Swedish anymore, and immigrants or people with foreign backgrounds, because there are many people, second, third generation of immigrants, saying that Sweden is not welcome and is not friendly anymore. And we've seen a rise of some really extreme groups in Sweden as well, like for this year's election, there was Nordic resistance movement running for this election, so they were hoping to get some votes as well. Although there are not many, but still it was very unusual to see these people marching on the streets of Sweden, not only for me, but for locals as well. And they actually presented themselves as Hitler soldiers. Let's take a look.
What's your opinion on Nazis?
They were great.
What?
They were great.
Hitler was definitely a very, very good person for the German people, definitely. He freed Germany.
We're against this. We're against the Nazism and racism and so.
They are talking about a closed society, but they take their chance in an open society. It's quite incredible.
It's disgusting, and I would say that I'm almost lacking words.
It cannot be legal to say that Hitler was a good guy. I mean, that must be cause for the police to intervene.
So you can see that was the general situation in which Sweden people had to go to polling stations and vote, like cars burned, I don't know, shootings, and the Nazis marching on the streets, like a little bit chaotic and very unusual for Sweden. So what I heard is that it's not easy to vote in this situation, because it's really hard to understand who can fix all this.
And indeed, even though you'll end up with possibly the same heritage parties forming a coalition after the weeks of deadlock that are ahead, it's certainly a wake-up call no matter which side you're sitting on, isn't it? OK, for now, Maria Fanoshna, thanks for that.
Thank you.